morning students. I hope you all are doing great. So today we will read a very important chapter from the subject of political science. So we live in a country. To administer a country properly or to run a country properly, we need a system, and that system we call government. Okay. So political scientists have classified the government into two categories. The number one category is unitary system of government, and the second category is federal system of government. In the unitary system of government, the powers are vested on the one authority, that is central government. Okay, and in the other hand, in the federal system, the powers are divided between the two levels of government, that is in the union level it calls central government, or in the regional level it called state government. Okay, sorry, at national level it called the central government, and in the other hand in regional level it called state government. Okay, so is it clear to everyone? Okay, so in today's lesson we will discuss about the federal features of the Indian Constitution, because we all know that our Indian Constitution is blend of unitary system with the federal features. Okay, so in this lesson we will only discuss about the federal features of our Indian Constitution. One thing I want to tell you that USA, or the United States of America, is the oldest federation of the world. Okay, and Australia, Canada, these states or these countries are the examples of the federal system of government. Okay, is it clear to everyone? Okay, so let's read about the federal features of our Indian Constitution. So the number one feature is dual polity. Okay, so the Constitution establishes dual polity consisting in the national level it's called union government or the central government, and in the regional level it consists of state government. Okay, and each level of government endowed with their sovereign powers, and each level of government deals with the several matters, like at the central level or the national level, the central government deals with the national importance like currency, then current affair, military, etc. And in the other hand, the state government deals with the regional importance like local government, and then social order, etc. Okay, and each government derive their power from the Constitution. Okay, so the next point is written Constitution. So as we know that our Indian Constitution is the lengthiest constitution of the world. And in our Constitution there are several schedules, parts, and articles also. Okay, so initially Constitution had 395 articles, 22 parts and 8 schedule, but at present we had 448 articles, 25 parts and 12 schedule. Okay, and these parts or schedular articles are deals with the functions, the powers and organization about the state government and the central government. Okay, thus the Constitution gives the power to the government authorities. Okay, so the next point is division of powers. The Constitution divided the power between the central government and the state government with three lists. Okay, there are three lists in our Indian Constitution. The first list name is Union List. The Union List consists of the matters which matters deal with the union government or the central government. Okay, in Union List matters the central government can take any action. Then the second list name is state list. Okay, in the state list matters, the state government can take actions on the matters of the state list. Okay, and the third list is concurrent list. In the matters of the concurrent list, the central government and the state government both can take actions on the matters of the concurrent list. Okay, so is it clear to everyone? Okay, very good. Then the next point is the supremacy of the constitution. So our constitution is the supreme law of the land. It means that our Indian constitution is the above of all. No one is above the constitution. So the constitution provides that if any central government or the state government, if they take any actions against the article against the constitution, so the Supreme Court have the power to declare their taken action invalid. Okay, so the next point is the rigid constitution. So what is the meaning of the word rigid? So the meaning of the word rigid is which we can't change easily. Okay, so there are some provisions in our constitution that we can't change that particular provisions easily. Okay, we means the parliament, the parliament. Okay, so in that particular provisions, the parliament need the joint actions, the joint consent. Okay, in that particular provisions, the parliament need the consent of the parliament with the half of the state legislature also, and that provisions called special provisions. Okay, so this is the feature of our Indian constitution, that our Indian constitution is the rigid constitution. Okay, so the next point is the independent judiciary. Okay, to maintain the supremacy of the constitution, we need a guard of our constitution. So the Supreme Court act as a guard of our constitution. So if the central government or the state government takes action against the constitution, so Supreme Court can declare their taken action invalid through his judicial review power. Okay, so what is the judicial review power? In any other classes, we will also discuss about the judicial power of the Supreme Court. Okay, so the next point is the next point is bicameralism. Okay, so what is the meaning of bicameralism? So bi means two and uni means one. Okay, so here the bicameralism meaning is our constitution consists with the two houses of parliament, that the first house name is Rajya Sabha or the upper house, and the other house is known as Lok Sabha or the lower house. Okay, so Rajya Sabha represents the state, and at the same time Lok Sabha represents the people of India as a whole. Rajya Sabha's role in the parliament is that Rajya Sabha maintained a balance in the federal system by protecting the interest of state against the unwanted interference of the central government. Okay, so I hope you understood the features. If anyone have any doubt, then you can ask me. Okay, so I hope it is clear to everyone. So these all are the power of our federal features of our Indian constitution. Okay, in the other class we will also discuss about the unitary features of our Indian constitution. Okay, so it is all for today. I hope you enjoyed the class. Thank you so much.